A Denmark zoo asks the public to donate their unwanted pets to feed the predators. A bat flew into a woman's mouth in Arizona, giving her some unexpected health bills. And Celsius energy drinks had to be recalled because they were found to be filled with vodka. These are the weird stories on Monday for Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian inside a closet. At least it's quiet. A zoo in Denmark asks the public to donate their unwanted small pets or even horses in order to feed the captive predators. That's right. We have a zoo here in Denmark. They're asking the citizens if they would like to donate their small pets or even their horses to feed their captive predators. Oh, how about that? You got a pet you'd like to get rid of because you're not getting along? We'll just ship it over to the zoo, have it be eaten by a lion. That's a great... Mommy, where's Fluffy? Oh, honey, we donated Fluffy to the local zoo. Oh, wow. Can we go to the zoo and see her today? Well, not exactly, honey. The Aalborg Zoo in Denmark made a post on social media that reads, "In zoos, we have a responsibility to imitate the natural food chain of the animals in terms of both animal welfare and professional integrity. If you happen to have a healthy animal that has to leave here for various reasons, feel free to donate your animal to us. The animals are gently euthanized by trained staff and are afterwards used as fodder. That way, nothing goes to waste, and we ensure natural behavior, nutrition, and well-being for our predators." I don't think the zoo really thought long and hard about their message to the public with this. I mean, you're dealing with, it's a very sensitive issue when someone's putting down their pet. You might want to not use the word fodder. That's just my suggestion. You might as well say, like, oh, did you get your kid the wrong dog for their birthday? Well, bring it on down to the zoo because our tigers love puppy kebabs. My point is, like, get a PR person to help you do this in a tasteful way because this is a shocking message that you have for the public. Yeah, maybe not be like, hey, did Scruffy just get diagnosed with cancer and your whole entire family is sad about it? Well, bring that little fur ball all on down to the zoo here and we'll roll it up in a ball and throw it in the mouth of one of our polar bears. Now, the zoo went on to say they accept donated rabbits, guinea pigs, and chickens on weekdays between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., but no more than 4 at a time. You guys don't try and bring in a whole gaggle of chickens. Is it a gaggle of chickens? No, it's a gaggle of geese. It's a murder of chickens. No, it's not a murder of chickens. It's a nuggets of chickens. Yeah, it's nuggets of chickens when you're talking about more than one chicken, correct? Yeah, of course I'm right. The zoo also accepts horses for feeding its animals, which it says on its website are euthanized by a zookeeper and a veterinarian. Well, what hours can I bring in my horses? All right. Can I bring them in on the weekdays or it's got to be weekend horses? Horse delivery, horse drop-off. Horsey fodder drop-off is Sundays only. Right after church. It says the horses that are to be donated for the animal food must not have been treated for illnesses for at least a month and are subject to size restrictions. According to the zoo's website, they must also be in a condition where it is safe for them to be transported. Given that the horse is a donation, the donor can receive a tax deduction for its value. So the value of the horse you can write off on your taxes if you donate your horse to be eaten by a pack of hyenas. It's good to know. There's no mention here of cats and dogs. They do say that chickens, rabbits, and guinea pigs are an important part of the diet of their predators, which need, quote, whole prey, reminiscent of what they would hunt in the wild. So they're urging you to bring your rabbits and your guinea pigs and your chickens, mostly. I have a question. Will you guys accept any billionaires or annoying TikTokers? How about some Florida men's sex offenders? Is there a way we can categorize members of Congress as, quote, small animals? I need to look into this. I'm just kidding. Weird AF News doesn't condone chucking members of Congress into the grizzly bear exhibit. Not on camera, anyways. Now, the Aalborg Zoo also says on their website that there may be a waiting list for these animal donations. A waiting list? Well, I wouldn't have expected that, but I guess a lot of people out there, they can't afford their horse these days. Who can afford a horse right now? I can't afford to feed myself, never mind an 800-pound animal or however much a horse weighs. The zoo's website also makes mention of an upcoming special day at the zoo called Bring Your Pet Ferret to the Zoo Day, and they give you free admission if you bring in your ferret, and if you happen to chuck your ferret into the mouth of a tiger, they give you a free tote bag as well. So that's I made all that up, but it's really funny. Well, that's the end of the article. It gives the website for further details if you want to be a donor or if you want to just get the address so you can stand out front with a sign protesting this so-called natural behavior and nutritional well-being for our predators, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Wait till Peter gets a hold of this story. Now, if you happen to have pets at home that are misbehaving and they can understand your language, feel free to take this opportunity to set some boundaries with your pet. Just kind of lean in onto the misbehavior. Like, tell your cat, if you puke on this rug one more time, I'm taking you to the Denmark Zoo, something like that. I had a misbehaved pup back in the day when I was living in New York City that I would love to have threatened to bring to the Denmark Zoo. This pup would just not act accordingly. I remember one time I had this very expensive chocolate babka that I bought from Moishe's Bakery on the Lower East Side in Manhattan. My goodness, I must have spent $45 on this babka. Brought the chocolate babka home. Put it on the counter, went out for the night, came back. Dog had somehow gotten up on the counter, brought down the chocolate babka, and devoured almost the whole damn thing. I mean, this was a big chocolate babka. It probably weighed like 6 pounds. It's just giant. And the dog, just this little dog. The babka was, almost the same size as the dog. I mean, I lost my mind. Yeah. I didn't need to punish the dog too heavily, though, because the dog had inadvertently punished himself by eating all of this chocolate babka. I mean, this dog was ill for a couple of days. Needless to say, it was a sad night for everybody in Queens. A bat flew into a woman's mouth and cost her thousands of dollars in medical bills. We have a Massachusetts woman who was bitten by nearly $21,000 in medical bills after a bat flew inside her mouth during a freak incident when she was vacationing in northern Arizona. An unlucky traveler, a bat flying into her mouth. It sounds like she's doing some sort of Ozzy Osbourne impression, just celebrating the life of Ozzy by chomping on a bat. No, obviously the bat flew into her mouth. This wasn't intentional, I assume. But my question is, how big is your mouth that, like, a bat saw your mouth and mistakes it for a cave? I mean, that's a pretty big gaping hole there for a mouth. She's probably got some stalactites dangling from the roof of her mouth. Or is it stalagmites? What dangle down and what dangle up? Stalactites or stalagmites? I can never get those right. Okay, let me jump into some more details regarding this Massachusetts woman who had to suffer the indignity of a bat flying right inside her mouth. She's Erica Hahn, 33 years old. She recently lost her job as a biomedical engineer when she traveled to the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. So she lost her job, and then a bat flew into her mouth. What a bad day. I remember I got fired once, and then I couldn't find my bag of marijuana. It was like the worst day to lose my bag of weed. So I never got fired and then had a rodent climb into my mouth or anything like that. Now, it seems that Erica Khan, she had gotten fired, and then she was trying to enjoy herself by snapping some photos of the night sky on her trip to Arizona in the canyon. It's a lovely way to get over being fired. She's out there snapping pictures. That's what we call them in Massachusetts. Did you take some pictures? Oh, I took some great pictures. Wicked, awesome pictures of the night sky when a bat approached me. The bat approached Erica and got caught in between her camera and her face. Then a portion of the bat got into her mouth because she was probably screaming. Who can blame her? I mean, the last thing you expect is a bat to fly into your face when you're outdoors like that. If you're in a cave, yeah, you expect a bat to fly into your mouth, but not when you're outside taking pictures of the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, which is just a friggin' awesome place to take pictures. There's a quote from Erica, who's from Massachusetts, so she's going to get slapped with the accent. Well, it was kind of dark out, and we were out on a cliff, so I was looking down at my camera. I didn't really see it coming. When it got kind of tangled between my face and the camera, it was probably just like a few seconds, but it felt a hell of a lot longer. The article wastes no time after her quote and says, while there are highly effective drugs for rabies, it can be fatal if not treated before symptoms are felt. What is this, a rabies commercial, this story? At the urging of her travel partner and father, a doctor, the symptomless Erica sought care for the rabies, but only after jumping online to buy new medical insurance. Oh, Erica, that doesn't work like that. But, I mean, good try, good try. Let's see what happened. Okay, it says, after Erica lost her job, she declined to pay for her former employer's insurance for $650 a month through COBRA, which is the Federal Continuation of Health Coverage Law. The unemployed Massachusetts woman figured she could roll the dice as a healthy woman in her early 30s, or at worst, could hastily buy private health insurance in a pinch. Erica went online, bought a health policy, and then went to get rabies vaccinations and treatment in Arizona, Colorado, and Massachusetts, believing she was in the clear. Well, then, surprise, surprise, the medical bills started pouring in, asking for a total of $20,749 because her policy had a 30-day waiting period before she could receive treatments covered by that plan, she said. She went on to say that she felt very powerless against these medical companies. She says it's a human right to have life-saving care covered. In most other countries, like in Europe, you just go to the hospital, you get your rabies vaccinations, you pay nothing. And this is all true. However, you're in the United States, sadly, Erica. You want a rabies shot here, it's going to cost you in the tens of thousands of dollars. I know there's people listening to this podcast right now in other countries. You're like, in my country, rabies is $100 for a shot. Nope, not here in the States. Tens of thousands of dollars for rabies. Isn't that crazy? I live in a country where a bat will fly in your mouth, and your first thought is, oh my God, how am I going to afford this? Your second thought is, how do I get this bat out of my mouth? And then if you think you can just spit a bat out of your mouth, gargle with some strong mouthwash, and then take a nap, you be wrong. You need to cover your bases by getting rabies shots, and that'll bankrupt you in the United States or turn you homeless. We got a lot of homeless people here, and some of them are, got mental illness and drug addictions, and they're criminals. And then some are just like they had some medical bills, and here they are in a tent. And it's all because the medical industry in the U.S. is the most predatory and evil scam ever created. And anyone that profits off the suffering and death of others in the system is a piece of garbage. Free Luigi! Moving on, let's find out if Erica is recovering, or is this a Batgirl origin story? Is she going to turn into a Batgirl? Nah, probably not Batwoman. She's more than likely going to turn into Poor Woman. This is a poor woman, homeless woman origin story right here. It says Erica is gainfully employed once again. Good for her. And she has health insurance through her new employer. However, she's burdened by the bills related to the bat flying inside her mouth. Erica says, looking back, she should have secured some private health insurance as soon as she was laid off. Well, how do you afford that on unemployment? It's like routinely $750 to $1,000 a month for decent health care. Are you going to afford that after you're laid off? How? And also, is this article a commercial for health insurance? I don't understand what this is about. I thought it was about a bat flying in a lady's mouth, but no, it's all about the healthcare situation, which we were already kind of aware of, and it's not going to get any better as long as billionaire oligarchs run the system over here. Anyway, what do we learn from this? That healthcare is extremely unaffordable. Rabies shots are $20,000 in the U.S., and if you happen to be around bats, try and keep your mouth closed to save yourself some money. An energy drink was mistakenly found to contain vodka. Finally, some good news. Sounds like some people out there unsuspectingly got a little bonus buzz. That's what that's called, a bonus buzz. When you drink something that you don't think contains some booze, but surprise, it contains booze. Just don't give it to airline pilots. Now, it says the beverage company High Noon. Have you heard of High Noon? They make vodka seltzer flavored cans. Should have been reversed in order, those words. Cans of fruit-flavored seltzer vodka. So I still can't say it correctly. It's just delicious tasting cans of vodka and seltzer. They're similar to a White Claw. I'm sure you've tried White Claw. Well, High Noon is just like that. It's just created by a different company. Well, they created some unintentional alcohol consumption with this latest gaffe. That's another word for mistake. I'm teaching you language. In an announcement that was posted, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration said 2 lots of the High Noon Beach Variety 12-packs contain cans mislabeled as Celsius energy drinks. The flavor is Astro Vibe, Sparkling Blue Raspberry Edition. Wow, these flavors are out of control, these energy drink flavors. Astro Vibe. Anyway, so it's an energy drink, but mistakenly had vodka in it. So it looks like they inadvertently just resurrected Four Loko. Is that what's going on here? You guys remember Four Loko? It was caffeine and alcohol together, and it was it was wonderful while we had it, but I mean, if by wonderful you mean many mistakes were made and bad decisions with the Four Loko. But it was a nice ride. We had a good ride with Four Loko. What was that, like 4 years of Four Loko? Friends were made, relationships were shattered, and some cars were crashed. But rest in peace, Four Loko. We will all miss you. You were like a live bat inside my mouth. Okay, so more details about this mistakenly alcoholic-infused energy drink. The recalled packs were shipped to distributors in places such as Michigan, New York, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Virginia, Wisconsin, and Florida. Florida's keeping them. They're like, nah, we want more of this. We actually put a written request in to the company to just make these on a regular basis. Because Florida men sure like vodka mixed with my caffeine. Yeah, it's a good pre-workout beverage before I go to the bus stop and shake it around. You know what I mean? I like to work out at bus stops with my pants down and my ankles and just shake it around. Now, the beverage company released a statement saying that consumers are advised to dispose of these affected Celsius cans with the vodka and not consume that liquid inside. Oh, yeah, what a terrible thing to do. Drink those cans. Don't drink that. Send them to me. So I'll provide you my address. You just mail them on over to your buddy Jonesy. I'll dispose of them properly, as they should. I mean, you got to ask yourself in these instances, what would Jesus do? Jesus wouldn't shotgun 5 cans of a Four Loko imitation beverage before recording a podcast. Never. Now, the FDA reports that thus far, no illnesses or adverse effects have yet to be reported from this mistake. But there has been an uptick in gunfire on front porches. That's all I do is think about news. What's up, my friends? How you doing? Thanks for sticking with your buddy Jonesy through this long podcast. We're approaching 17 minutes now. I'll keep it brief. I know you got things to do. Let's give thanks and praise. I got a great email from a fan of the show named Chris. Chris Hilton wrote, "You're the man, Jonesy. The cheesy puns, silly accents, attempts to pronounce difficult words, and frequent bursts of singing guarantee me a smile every single episode. I love weird news and your unique style. I discovered the podcast a little more than a month ago. Actually, it was a few days before Noel Brown mentioned your show on Stuff They Don't Want You to Know when I discovered your podcast. I started immediately binge listening. I'm listening to every episode in reverse order from when they came out, which adds to the weird experience. As of right now, I'm on July 23rd, 2024, steady chugging through back-to-back episodes in reverse order. Hey." Thanks again, Jonesy, and good luck with your life, man. So shout out to Chris for writing me this lovely email. And can you imagine listening to all the Weird AF News episodes in reverse order? There's over 2,000 of them. Chris, are you aware of the kind of commitment this requires? I hope you get through it alive. That's all I can say. And I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Like listening to my voice for, all of those hours. Who would want to subject themselves to such torture? Anyways, appreciate the support. I love the email. You guys can send me notes like this, notes of love and encouragement and gratitude. That really is what keeps me going and doing this, is notes of gratitude. My email is funnyjones@gmail.com. You can also slide into my DMs on Instagram @funnyjones. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Slide into the DMs, baby. You know how to do that. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed to the show, please do so. If you're new to the show, you might be. Just let you know, I do weird news 5 days a week, and on Friday it's only weird news from Florida. So that's how we do it. That's the format over here, and it's a format for success. Not really, but we got something going. I don't know. Anyways, good luck with your life, man.